Seek to understand, lead with love. This is the mastermind insight of the week that's been on my mind this week, which is seek to understand, lead with love. So this comes up in sales, it comes up in leadership, and it's an insight that I got while being on a mastermind call where objections can come up during sales calls. So this is a frame to view sales through, view leadership through, and I believe they're one and the same. So leading people through the questions, the fears that they have, and having this in mind, because of course, where we're coming from really determines so much. Are we coming from it in a combative way or a defensive way or a triggered way? Or are we coming from it in a way seeking to understand, leading with love? So this has been a very powerful frame that I'm practicing recentering to, and I feel like it can help you as well. So when it comes to sales, objections during sales calls, which another way of viewing that, I look at it as like questions or fears or concerns that a person has, and then we're leading them through those, talking through those to ultimately the results that they want. And so another thing is objections during webinars. So instead of taking these things personally or in being defensive, or maybe we feel like we've heard them many times before, instead recentering back to seek to understand, lead with love, seek to understand where are they coming from, and leading them through those questions, those fears with love. Another area this can come up is, members not responding or people not responding the way that we want, whether that's in a message or conversation. And again, recentering to seek to understand, lead with love, which can also be being triggered. This is leading your mastermind group, leading your community, or perhaps it's in the process of people being interested, the prospects. All these different ways, because at the end of the day, what's happening? People are interacting with people. And we're human beings, we're not robots. So there are bounds, there's bound to be triggers that happened, wires that get crossed. So recentering in this, and everybody's got their own lives, their own businesses, their own things happening. So when we're communicating together, breakdowns in communication can happen. And I remember hearing that quote once upon a time, that all the issues in life are a result of a breakdown in communication. That was the quote. All the issues in life are a result of a breakdown in communication. So whether that's fully true or not, I think it's really interesting that the source of so many issues are people not hearing each other, not being able to communicate, articulate what they want to. And that gap, that divide, is what creates the tension, the issues. So as a leader, as mastermind leader, as community leader, recentering in this, and it's a practice. So I definitely I'm not speaking to you as a perfect person who's always centered in this. It's a practice. It's an ideal, to strive to and remind ourselves and help each other remind ourselves of, okay, in that moment where maybe we feel like we took a shot, or there's a trigger, or there's something, or we took it personally, have that microsecond, maybe even a few seconds, ideally, recentering back into seek to understand, lead with love. And so I want to share this because whether you're leading, guiding, facilitating, or guiding people through the sales process, that this, I feel like, just completely shifts the energy. And at the end of the day, whether it's somebody who's in your mastermind group, somebody who's interested in joining your mastermind group, or somebody who's just hearing about you for the first time, the way that really resonates with me to view it is that it's all leadership. It's all leadership. It's all guiding people to ultimately what they want. And if your product, your mastermind, helps them get their goals, then it's all leadership. From the very first time that they hear about you, through the process to getting the results to mastermind group, it's all one big leadership journey. That's how I see it. So that's the Mastermind insight of the week. Seeks to understand, lead with love. And what we're going to do today is clear anything away from being more and more centered in that, more and more upright with our energy, rather than being able to be knocked back and forth. It's like those weeble wobbles, like, I think, yeah, that's what they're called. Like, you blow them up and then they move around. We don't want to be always knocked around. We want to be solid. We want to be centered. And so that is the phrase, that is the concept. Seek to understand, lead with love.